Hey, what's up, sis? What's going on? Hey, good evening, champions. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast with yours truly, Arian Tyson. I'm sitting in my office here in St. Louis, and I'm excited. I'm honored to be back before you. It's another Tuesday night, so you know what time it is. We're going to get started momentarily. Let some people know I'm on. How's you all day been? If you're just joining, let me know in the comments section. All right, we're about to get started momentarily. Awesome. Hey, champions, welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. I am yours truly, Arian Tyson, the Moving Motivator, and I am sitting in my office here in St. Louis, and it is a privilege and honor to be before you tonight. I will not be before you long, but I wanted to share something substantial, something to give you to think about as you go through the rest of your week. And just to really think about your passion. And I want to ask a question. Is going after your passion, or is finding your passion holding you back? And so if you get value from this, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Feel free to share this podcast on your Facebook walls, share it on YouTube, etc. Having said all that, I want to talk about is finding your passion holding you back. And here's why I say this. Because we have this myth, we believe this myth that passion is something that we find. But I'm going to debunk three myths tonight centered around passion, and how it can actually help you become even more successful in all of your endeavors, regardless to what you're passionate about or regardless to where your purpose lies. So think about this. I've often heard it said that if I could just find my passion, then I could succeed. My question to you is, have you ever had that thought? Now, I've had it before, but I've since realized that it is completely backwards, which is the first passion myth. We believe that passion is found. That's not true. What happens is that passion is not found. Passion is developed. I'm going to say it again. Passion is not found. Passion is developed. What do I mean by that? Consider this. Even children who seem to have been passionate straight out of the womb have at some point been exposed to their area of passion. Your first exposure to anything isn't typically enough to determine if you're passionate about it. For example, I've loved basketball, I've loved football since a young age. But when I saw my first few football games, I was like, what is going on? Why are these guys wrestling in the grass, right? Over time, I learned more about the game. I had a chance to watch, greats like Barry Sanders, on the gridiron. Or I had a chance to watch players like Michael Jordan, be great and become the greatest basketball player ever. And my passion began to grow. Then I started throwing the football around with friends in my neighborhood. And then I started playing basketball in the backyard, and my father taught me how to do the drop step, right? And so what happens was that's how I became a passionate football and a passionate basketball fan. Now today, I'm very passionate about speaking, specifically speaking life into others. It is something that I would do for free, but it's also something that I wouldn't mind getting paid to do, right? And it's a source of great pleasure. But when I first started speaking, it was a bit like feeling my way through the dark. I didn't know what I was doing. My skill and passion for speaking developed from nothing, as all passion does. Which leads me to the second myth. We believe that passion fuels success. But I'm here to tell you that it's actually the antithesis. Success fuels passion. I'm going to say it again. Success fuels passion, not passion fuels success. Now, admittedly, this is only part myth. Passion and success fuel each other in a cycle. So the important question is, which one comes first? Success comes first more than 80% of the time. But most people believe that passion comes first 100% of the time. The first success might be subtle. Success happens on many different levels. As you've heard me say, there's levels to this thing. And the thing about it is, no amount of success, contrary to popular belief, no amount of success is insignificant. Recently, I had a chance, and I talked about this on the last podcast. I had a chance to speak on stage almost 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time ever. Now, mind you, I was only on stage for 3 minutes. But in that 3 minutes might seem insignificant to someone else. But it was very significant to me, because not only was it the first time that ever happened, but I actually had something valuable to say. So before I had success in shooting videos and doing these podcasts every week, before, I used to write poetry. And I still do to this day. That's how it started. So it was a process, and it elevated. So it started off from writing poetry at a very early age. to being able to learn that I had an ability to speak and people listen, to me shooting videos, to doing podcasts like I'm doing now, to speaking on stage almost 2 weeks ago for the first time. And rest assured, that won't be the last time. Trust me. Because when I say God is up to something, that is probably the understatement of the year. But it's fact that God truly is up to something. Friends would sometimes comment on my videos. They would comment on things that they've heard me say. They would comment on posts that I make on Facebook, because it really got them to think. And it wasn't much. It wasn't a lot of people. I think it was about maybe five or six people. And over time, it started to grow. And the thing about it was, this was my first success. Did it make me money? No. Did it reach a lot of people? No. But I wrote something and I spoke something. And the thing about it is, it gained a positive response from someone else. And to be a new speaker or a new writer, that's a resounding success. And as a result, I wrote more. And as a result, I shot videos more. And my writing passion and my speaking passion seed was planted. And it has grown into the point where people actually recognize me. People know me before they actually meet me. Here's what I mean by this. Now, Sunday was very interesting. I had a very interesting day Sunday. Now, for those of you that live in St. Louis, you know we had a lot of storms that came through over the weekend. And so my church was actually closed Sunday because the storms knocked the power out. So I had a chance to go and visit a church that, is very near and dear to me, because I'm very close with the pastor. I've actually had a chance to know this guy before he even became a pastor. And then he always keeps me cleaned up every other weekend, like clockwork. So the thing about it is, so I had a chance to go to that praise and worship experience and heard an awesome message. And I had an opportunity to spend some time with my oldest godson, Aiden. Now, I had told Aiden that he was going to see his godfather at least once a month. Now, March, I dropped the ball in March, and I almost dropped the ball in April. Now, remember, Sunday was April 30th, and I was supposed to have spent some time with him that Saturday, but because of all the storms, it kind of derailed that. So I looked at this as an opportunity to possibly go and spend time with him. So I was able to spend time with him, and then I found out something that shocked me. And one of the things I found out was there is a young lady that goes to the church that Aiden and his mom attend. And she told me that she had been following me on YouTube for years. Now, we literally just met at the end of last year. I didn't know who she was, had never seen her a day in my life, but she saw me from all the videos that I've done, because I have like over 900 videos on YouTube right now. So that just shows the power of videos, and it shows the power of speaking life into people, because from this conversation Sunday, it allowed me to find out that, I was able to touch someone from videos that I did years ago that I had no idea that's how she knew me. I just figured she knew me from a friend of mine, because my godson's mom and we go back 20 years. But that's not how she got to know me. She got to know me through my videos. And we talked about it, and I told her and reiterated to her that several years ago, prior to 2013, you couldn't have paid me to shoot a video. So what I'm doing now, while it seems natural, I was petrified to do it. I was petrified to do it at an early age. But it just goes to show you that once the seed is planted and you continue to water that seed, that's when it begins to grow. And that's when and you become better, and you become better at it with more consistency. Hey, cuz, hey, sis. And thank you all for hopping on. And it's just amazing what could happen when you find out that the fact that I found out that something that I attacked benefited somebody. I became successful at it first. And then from that is when the passion came. So people can feel the passion in my videos. And it started out like she remembered that I used to shoot videos driving in my car going to work. That's where it started. But now I'm actually in the office. But I told her Sunday, don't be surprised if you see in the not so distant future that I have an opportunity to crank out a video back in my original office. But nevertheless, that's where it starts. You know, and I tell people, you know, you have to give me the choice between having a passion for speaking and having a good speaking habit. And I'll take that habit, please. Habits are the foundation for a good life. Whereas passion, feeling emotionally drawn to something, comes with no guarantees of progress or action. We live in a society where passion is revered. But it's not everything. I'm going to say that again. Passion is revered in the world that we live in, but it's not everything. I know I had some passion and desire for speaking and writing before it became a habit, and it wasn't enough. And in fact, it was often a hindrance because I thought that I could or I should only write or speak when I felt inspired. And there have been many times, and I've been going through a whole lot of things over the last, year and a half or so, where I did not feel like speaking, or I really wasn't inspired to crank out a video. But when you find out that your voice matters, and when you find out that something that you're saying has the ability to impact people, you get out of your feelings and you get out of your own way, and you put it out there, because that's what your responsibility is. Your responsibility is to operate in your purpose. Your responsibility is to live out your passion. But passion oftentimes, more often than not, does not come before the success. The success comes first, and as a result, that fuels the passion. Because think about someone that you've heard speak. Think about someone that you've heard do something. You know when it sounds like it's forced. You know when it even sounds like it's nonsense. But when someone is passionate about it, regardless to if they're in your face, if you're in the same room as them, or if you're halfway across the globe, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt when they say what they mean and when they mean what they say. That's where the passion unlocks, because you know beyond everything, regardless to what's going on, regardless to all the things that might be coming your way, you know when somebody has tapped your pulse. You know when somebody is speaking directly to you, and chances are they don't even know your situation. That's the beauty of it. And that's what gets me, because you can't manufacture that. I don't know. I don't have time to sit up and have conversations with, 100,000 people. But I know that if I just put it out there, if I just get out of my own way, then I know that my voice can reach people I may never meet. And because I can say that in all honesty, and I can say that with the courage of my convictions, because what I'm doing now, I know for a fact it has reached people here in St. Louis, and it has reached people on the East Coast. It has reached people overseas. It has reached people all the way in Australia. I have never been to Australia. I have never been on the others. I've only been out of the United States once, soon to be twice. But I haven't been over to that part of the globe. But somebody has heard my voice and has been impacted by it. And that's powerful. And one thing I noticed was it wasn't until I developed the habit of consistency speaking that I developed and I really became better at presenting myself. And since I appreciate you telling me that it's reached people in Texas. And since you're right, you cannot fake purpose. It's enough people faking the funk. It's enough people, that's not being genuine. But we live in a day and time where, there's a strong pull for people to be authentic. And the best way for you to be authentic is to tell your story and to walk in your truth. And if you're not walking in your truth, you're not being authentic. You're not. You're being a people pleaser. And as someone who used to be a former people pleaser, I'm reformed now. But ask any family member of mine. I did what everybody expected me to do. I did what was expected. And I almost lost myself. But I'm thankful that I woke up. And now I am operating and I'm staying in my lane. I'm in my lane and I'm staying in it. And I'm maintaining course, and doors are opening up that I didn't even imagine would open. And things are happening behind the scenes that I only dreamt would happen. But one thing that I say now is, you can't tell me what's not possible. You cannot tell me that it can't be done or it can't happen. Nothing is impossible to me. And you develop that posture when you are walking in your purpose. When you are seeing things manifested that you have, prayed to the Most High about behind closed doors, where based on intentions that you have set. See, a lot of people, they don't make intentions. They just go with the flow. Well, let me ask you, how's that turned out for you? If it hasn't turned out too good for you, you're going to have to do something different. And I hope that you all are getting value from this. If you're getting value from it, let me know in the comments section. Here's what I've learned. The consistency is what has allowed me to impact people. When you're consistent at something, you will get results. No matter what you think, you will get results. And what's crazy is that, think about your favorite movie. Think about your favorite actor or actress. What is one of the things that you like about them? Their passion. Here's what I've learned about the difference between movies and in real life. Passion gets all the credit in movies, whether it's Denzel Washington, whether it's Taraji P. Henson, whether it's Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, whether it's Angela Bassett, the list goes on and on. But in real life, habits is what brings the results. Consistency is what brings the results. Caring is enough. And instead of being passionate, it's okay to just care about something. Caring is a choice, meaning anyone can choose to care. Passion is volatile, uncontrollable, and affected by your personality and emotional makeup. Some personalities might not ever feel passionate about things. It is what it is. But here's the flip side. Passion is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but it's not required to live an excellent life. It is an emotional bonus. I'm going to say it again. Passion is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, but it is not required to have an excellent life. It is an emotional bonus. And if you're an emotional person, I can understand the frustration of not having a passion, as you likely look to your emotions to guide you. And if this is the case, and you really feel you need passion to be happy, well, who am I to say you don't? In this case, I'll give you 3 things to think about. Continue to explore and try new things. If something is interesting, try it again and you might develop a passion for it. Remember, success comes before passion most of the time. Number 2, look at what you already care about to be a potential source of passion. People can become passionate about almost anything. About learning a new language, about network marketing, about learning how to trade and invest, traveling, taking their business to another level, about personal development and success, or solving any of the world's problems. You can become passionate about that. Basically, you have to engage yourself in something that's bigger than you. And then number 3, if you know an area you like to be passionate about, but it isn't quite clicking, create small habits or mini habits in that area to fuel your skill, your development, and your success. And then it can fuel that passion. Because again, success fuels passion. Success often comes before passion. When you're successful at something, let's say you join a new business. I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to learn how to trade and invest, and you don't have a clue what you're doing. It sounds great to you. But then you study, and then you decide to step out there. So you place your first trade. The moment that your first trade goes into profit and you close out in profit, do you feel passionate or do you feel successful? You feel successful. So what happens? Hey, you take the posture that, hey, if I can make profit on this one, hey, let's do it again. And then you might share your result with your friends, or you might put your results on your Facebook wall. People are going to ask you, what are you doing? Here's where the success turns into passion. When you start getting results, your posture changes about it. You don't have to rely on using someone else's results when you have your own results. Exactly, says Wolf of Wall Street. Exactly. So the thing about it is, that is living proof that success fuels passion, not passion fuels success. See, we were taught wrong. We had it all wrong. So I had to flip it on you. But whatever you do, do not wait for passion to slap you in the face. Because if you really want it, you have to create it. Passion is a wonderful, wild thing. But my views on it have changed substantially over the years. And I used to believe these three myths, and I share these three myths. So for those that hopped on late, I'm about to wrap up, but I'm going to recap those three myths that I talked about. Here are the three myths. Number one, we were often told that passion is found. Number two, we believe that passion fuels success. And number three, people believe that they need passion to be happy. But since adjusting my perspective to the following truths, I've been happier, more successful, and yes, more passionate. So here are the passion truths to remember. Number one, we used to think that passion is found. No, passion is developed, often intentionally, though not always. Number two, we used to believe and we were told that passion fuels success. No, success fuels passion, and usually success comes first and then comes passion. And then the third one was we developed this belief that we need passion to be happy. No, passion without sustainability may weaken and die. Passion built upon strong habits, consistency, and caring about something can last a lifetime. So, having said all that, I'm going to conclude for tonight. I want to thank each and every last one of you all that took time out of your schedule to hop on and listen to this topic, because passion can take you, it can take you a lot of places if you realize that success ultimately comes first. Now, in some cases, it doesn't, but in most cases, over 80%, success comes first and then passion follows. And as I use the example of the person who is learning how to trade and invest, when you make your when you get that first profit, when you make that first profit on a trade, you feel a sense of success, and you have every right to feel that way. And you share your results with somebody, and they ask you, what are you doing? Because humans are naturally intuitive. They're naturally curious. That conversation, you're going to have some passion behind that conversation, because you're not leaning on the results of someone else. You're actually leaning on your own results. So success comes before passion. Success fuels passion. So I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much. I will be back same time next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on another episode, another edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. It's yours truly, Arian, Tyson, the Moving Motivator. And remember, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. God bless you all. Talk to you later.